The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Happy Groundhog Day. My name is Ron Juckett. How are you? And I'm the commander of your football team. No. Welcome to the program for the second day of February 20, the 22nd. Apparently, it's my twin niece and nephew's 15th birthday. And guess what they're not watching? They're not watching Uncle Ron play a baseball game from 1985. But my youngest sister, who turns 40 this year, is beside herself that she has 15-year-old kids. Anyway, so after our tremendous Texas-Cleveland game the other day, we return now from action from May 8th, 1985. It is a preview, potentially, of the National League Championship Series. The St. Louis Cardinals come to Los Angeles to play the Dodgers. Rick Hunnicutt and John Tudor go at it on a crystal clear, cool night in the city of the Angels. And so with all that, it's time for baseball here. The Dodgers and the Cardinals. No tarp machines, Vince. You're safe. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1985 today from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles, California. It is the LA Dodgers and the St. Louis Cardinals. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports and simulation replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. It'll be Rick Hunnicutt getting the call today for the Dodgers. He is making his 5th start of the year. He's a fastball pitcher at 85 and a fly ball pitcher. He is 1-1 with an earned run average of .430. He got his first win of the year on May 3rd, so 5 days ago. That would have been Tuesday, Monday, last Friday, against the Pirates, a 2-1 win. 6 innings, 75 pitches, 2 hits, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. So Hunnicutt comes into this one with 23 innings under his belt, 18 innings, 11 runs all earned. He hasn't given up a home run, and if he does to the Cardinals, well, that's, not necessarily a good thing. He has walked 9 and struck out 11. The loss came to the Astros at Dodger Stadium on April 17th. Not a terrible outing, but not a good one either. He should go about 95 pitches, and that's about 6 innings. The lineup that he will face, Vince Coleman leads off in right field for St. Louis. Lonnie Smith is in left field. He doesn't have much longer to go with the Cardinals. He will bat second. Tommy Herr will play second and hit third. Jack Clark will cross wits with you all. At first, he cleans up. Willie McGee in center field will bat fifth. Terry Pendleton at third will hit sixth. Daryl Porter gets the call behind the plate. He'll bat seventh. The Wizard, Ozzie Smith, at short will go eighth, and John Tudor will pitch and bat ninth. He should go about 130 pitches. Oh my gosh, what the heck is Lasorda doing? Bill Russell is in left field because really, once you lose your arm as a shortstop, putting you in left field is the obvious place to do it. He's a 6-1 out there. Candy Maldonado was a 3-4 in center. R.J. Reynolds a 4-3 in right. Around the infield for the Dodgers, Pedro Guerrero is a 4 at third. Mariano Duncan is a 5 at second. Steve Sachs is a 5 at second, or Duncan's a 5 at short. Sachs a 5 at second. Mike Marshall a 3 at first. Not great defensive players for the Dodgers here. Steve Yeager, the wily veteran behind the plate, he's a 6 and an 8. And Hunnicutt is a 7 on the mound with a .958 fielding percentage. Midlife crisis, how are you? Guerrero and Marshall come in for Vince Coleman. Coleman at .313, a homer, 5 doubles and 8 RBI. More importantly for Vince, 15 stolen bases. So the Cardinals, this is game 26. Zilderon, how are you? For the Dodgers, game 28. And this one starts with a drop, strike three. Yeager throws to first, and Coleman is retired. He looked at a curve for strike three. Mr. Zalapsky Smurf, how are you? Lonnie Smith at 253. 2 doubles and 6 RBI. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Pitch to Smith. Lonnie chops one to second. Sachs throws it to first. 2 out for Tommy Herr at 313. No homers and 16 RBI. Hunnicutt, not a bad pitcher, but he would, of course, do a lot better as a reliever for Oakland and Tony La Russa as the decade wore on. Pitch to Herr. Tommy slaps out one up the middle. Duncan in front of the bag at second. Throws to first, and Herr's speed. They got him on the bang banger. So no runs, no hits, and no errors. Half an inning in the book. St. Louis, nothing. John Tudor taking the hill for the Cardinals. Now, one of you told me that Tudor got off to a terrible start in 85 and won like his last 19 starts. Tudor, 31 years old, a fastball pitcher, 85, and a ground ball plus pitcher, making his 6th start of the year. He is 4-1 on the replay with a 2.91 ERA. He last pitched 5 days ago on the 3rd, so this is a Wednesday, so it'll be Friday night in San Francisco. 9 innings, 125 pitches, 5 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 4. So he has shut out the Expos. That was on the 17th. And has gone the distance 4 times out of 5 so far. 43 in the 3rd innings, 41 hits. 14 runs, all earned. He has given up 2 homers. That came to the Mets in his lone loss of the replay. Walked 7 and struck out 28. This will be the lineup he'll face. Steve Sachs will lead off at second base. Mariano Duncan at short will bat second. Billy Russell in left. God knows why. Probably because it's all righties against the lefty. He'll bat third. What's Tommy been drinking? Pedro Guerrero cleans up at third. Mike Marshall at first will bat fifth. Candy Maldonado in center goes sixth. R.J. Reynolds in right, seventh. Steve Yeager behind the plate goes 8th, and Hunnicutt, who threw 12 pitches in his half of the first, will bat 9th. Lonnie Smith, a 2 and a 5 and left. Yep, Tribe fan, we're looking for 9 inches here between now and Friday morning. Willie McGee is an 8 and a 7 in center. Vince Coleman a 5 and an 8 in right. Terry Pendleton a 9 at third. Ozzie Smith a 9 at short. Tommy Herr a 5 at second. Jack Clark a 6 at first. Daryl Porter a 5 and a 4 behind the plate, and Tudor a 7 with a .955 fielding percentage. Yep, you missed a great comeback, or a lot of you caught it. The Rangers did protest the game. Midlife Crisis found it ironic that the Indians made that comeback to the tune of the Calgary Bugle Call against the Rangers. I had rainouts unchecked, because we want these games to be complete. They're getting the storm in southern Ontario that we're about to get. It'll be rain here. Russell was originally signed as an outfielder. Wow, wasn't too shabby back then, but the Dodgers needed a shortstop. And so I went back and watched that comeback, and that all was with 2 outs. Bert Hooton just needed 1 out and couldn't get it. And so a 2-hour, 32-minute rain delay in that game. And the Indians were down 7-6 in the 9th and came back to win it. Steve Sachs at 259, 7 for 27 on the year. Lasorda is finally going to use him. There's a ground ball to third. Pendleton goes across the way, 1 out. Brings up Mariano Duncan. Mariano at 197. A homer and 10 RBI. Walked him. So the first walk, and Duncan is primed to steal. Here's Russell. Bill at 290, a triple, and 2 RBI. Let's see if Tudor throws to first. He does, and Duncan is back. Dodgers will hit and run here. Runner goes, Russell up the middle. Ozzie Smith's only play is to first, so Duncan is on second. Russell is retired. And with 2 out, the Dodgers have a runner in scoring position for Pedro Guerrero, hitting .330, 4 homers, and 16 RBI. Tribe fan up near Cleveland is doubtful for work tomorrow with all that weather coming in. It's supposed to start here in Burlington as rain overnight and then change by noontime tomorrow to all snow. And by the time that we're done, they're saying between 8 and 12 inches here. And that, surprisingly enough, would be the biggest storm we've had so far in northern Vermont. Pitch to Guerrero. Pedro into left field. Lonnie Smith will make the catch, and that will retire the side. Dodgers get a run around and strand him after 1, no score. So Jack Clark, Willie McGee, and Terry Pendleton to face Rick Hunnicutt here in the second. Jack at 270, 3 homers already, and 17 RBI. Beautiful night in Los Angeles, 69 degrees. Clear skies and a crosswind of 11 from right to left. That's a liner in the left that will drop in front of Russell. Bill does not have a good arm. 25 centimeters expected in the London, Ontario area. Alexa, how many inches is 25 centimeters?
25 centimeters is about 9.84 inches.
Thank you.
Certainly. My pleasure.
So pretty much 8 to 12 around the horn. Here's McGee, Willie at 291, 2 triples, a homer, and 8 RBI. Pitch to Willie. Got him. Hunnicutt got him to swing and miss on a 2-2 fastball. 1 out for Pendleton. Terry at 237, no homers and 11 RBI. Pitch to Terry. Ball 4. She's always very nice, Madam Speaker. Plays my favorite music. Once in a while will order something for me from her masters at Amazon. Daryl Porter at 333, a homer and 4 RBI. 2 on, 1 out, no score here in the second. Pitch to Daryl. Ball 4. So they're loaded for Ozzie Smith. Ozzie at 224, 2 doubles and 11 RBI. So Clark on third, Pendleton on second, and Porter on first. Hunnicutt rocks and deals. Into center field. That should score Clark. Maldonado will track it down. Clark goes back to tag, and he will score without a throw. So the Cardinals have 2 out, but a run in, 1-0. So John Tudor, probably one of the rare times they actually got John Tudor to smile. 250 on the replay, 2 doubles and 6 RBI. How about that? A single will score Pendleton for sure. And Porter, maybe. I saw that they actually have plans to renovate Progressive Field for our Guardian fans. It looks like they're going to take out some seats and put in some party areas. What do you think of that? Tudor, line drive to first, or right rather, over Marshall. Reynolds is there. And that will be, oh, it's a diving. So Reynolds will dive and makes the catch on the grass. A 50-50 chance, and Reynolds came in. So the Cardinals get a run. Leave 2 on. Bottom of the second, 1-0 St. Louis. Yeah, I saw that yesterday on Facebook. Should be a nice upgrade, and I think they've done some work to the Jake or Progressive since it opened in 93. So, but that was 28, 29 years ago. They signed a lease that will keep them at least, I think, through 36 or 32, and an option through 42. Not like the Guardians were going to be leaving anyway. Mike Marshall at 298, 8 homers and 18 RBI. Good start for Marshall. Tudor starts the second with a line drive to her, 1 out. Brings up Candy Maldonado. Candy up 189, 2 homers and 6 RBI. 1 out, bottom of the second, 1-0 St. Louis. First home and home with these two. They played last week in St. Louis, and so this week in Los Angeles, and then at some point they'll do it again. Remember, it's 12 between the divisions in the NL and 18 within. Pitch to Candy. There's a base hit up the middle, past her. And there's 1 on and 1 out for R.J. Reynolds. R.J. at 194, a triple and an RBI. Pitch to Reynolds. There's a ground ball to her. Tommy should get 2. Ozzie for 1. Maldonado, well, they threw to first, but Reynolds beat it out. And RJ wasn't there for picture day. Here's Steve Yeager, 227. No homers and 2 RBI. 2 out. Reynolds on first. Yeager waves the bat. Ground ball to short. Ozzie over to across the way to Clark, and that will retire the side. So the Dodgers get their first hit. They leave a runner on. We go to the third. It is 1-0 St. Louis. So it'll be Coleman, Smith, and Hurd to face Hunnicutt here in the third. Vince struck out his first time up. Had a nice visit yesterday with an old college professor of mine who came to town for some cancer treatments. And so it's the first time I've seen her in 30 years. It was delightful. She got to meet my wife, and we had some Subway for lunch. It was really nice. Really, really nice. So that's where I was yesterday. We're with you tomorrow and Friday as well. I believe I made a change for this week. And I think it is Chicago, San Diego tomorrow, and Seattle, Toronto on Saturday, I think. We'll double check. Hard to do during the game. Dodgers play for the bunt. Coleman gives one, and they aren't going to get him. Hunnicutt picked it up. But there wasn't much you could do with that, and so Coleman bunts his way on. That's a second hit for the Cardinals. So Lonnie Smith is 0 for 1. Throw to first. Coleman is. They got him in a rundown, and they picked him off. So Hunnicutt had him. That's why you don't run on the lefties. Marshall goes to Duncan to complete the play, so it is considered a pickoff, not a caught stealing. 1-3-6. See what we can get on here again. Coleman went, and Marshall just flung it down to Duncan, and Duncan just kind of ran him down. No tackling required, of course. So nobody on, 1 out for Smith. Pitch from Hunnicutt. There's a ground ball to Sachs, and Steve's going to misplay it. It hit him in the chest like a hockey goalie, and no one would ever confuse Steve Sachs and Mike Quick, or even Rogie Vachon from that era. And it bounced off his chest and went past him, so Lonnie reaches on the air. Here's her. Tommy is 0 for 1. Hunnicutt delivers. Her in the shallow center field. Maldonado rides the Schwinn and makes the catch. And Smith goes back to first. So 2 out here in the third. Jack Clark has singled and scored. He's 1 for 1. You guys are awful quiet today. Cardinals are 16-9. The Cubs are in first. We'll show you the standings in a couple. And the Dodgers right in the thick of things in the NL West at 15-12. Pitch to Clark. There's a ground ball to third. Guerrero goes the long way to Marshall, but Clark is not all that fast, and the side is retired. St. Louis gets a hit and an error, and they leave a runner on. We go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 Cardinals. So Hunnicutt, Sachs, and Duncan to face Tudor here. Your Washingtons have a new name. It's OSCAR. Your Commanders have a second name. It's MAYER. I heard Commanders this morning. Go Commies. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, is that going to get some play? When I saw that last night, the only thing I could think of is Star Trek. Of course, we do have the Space Force. And it would be nice if Commander Data or whatever would go there. I mean, of all the names you could have picked, Commanders. You wouldn't want them to be the generals. Because, or maybe you would. Hunnicutt 1 for 5 on the year. Ground ball right back at the box. Tudor throws to first for the out. Commodores with the Navy right there. Red Hogs had been talked about. Daniel Snyder and his never-ending quest to underwhelm. Here's Steve Sachs. He's 0 for 1. Tudor's opening 9-2 in the third innings. 29 pitches, a hit and a walk. I can just see that. They go into Philadelphia or New York or Dallas, and you hear chants of, "Let's go, commies! Let's go, commies!" Yeah, that'll go well. Good job. Great effort. Pitch to Sachs, who's 0 for 1. Ground ball to Ozzie. Smith fires across the way. Sachs is running, and he is safe. He beat it out. On a bang-banger, I thought that was an easy play for Ozzie, but Sachs had the afterburners on. And that'll bring up Mariano Duncan, who walked his first time up. 1 out. And they're going to throw to first. Sachs is back. Going to square here, right? So Duncan squares. Porter goes to her covering, and Sachs goes to second. So the sacrifice is down. 2 out for Russell, who's 0 for 1. 1-0 Cardinals here. Bottom of the third inning. Tudor's pitch. There's a ground ball to her, and that will get Tudor out of the jam on the 4-3. No runs, a hit. Dodgers leave a runner on after 3. 1-0 St. Louis. Yet they had 2 years to come up with that, and that's the best they could do. I mean, Commodore would have been better. You could have had Lionel Richie sing the national anthem. You could have paraded around cheap computers. It's naval connotations. There's a reason why Washington was placed in a river basin, for goodness sakes. Here's McGee. He's 0 for 1. He struck out. 1 of the 2 for Hunnicutt as we start the fourth. And he draws a walk. Yeah, that's pretty underwhelming. Here's Pendleton. Terry walked his first time up. 1 of 3 given up there. No, there's a logo, and of course the W Now, someone suggested this, and if you don't live on the East Coast, it's not going to mean anything to you. But it looked like the old Group W logo from when Westinghouse owned TV stations. And so they'll have the white jersey, the burgundy jersey, and a black jersey. Tribe Fan says you could have had a person wearing 64 named Commodore 64. Too bad Mike Commodore, the hockey player, never wore 64. Yeah, it looks a little better than the Dave Cook W, but not much. So, Tribe Fan, tell me about the changes they're making to Progressive. Pitch to Pendleton. There's a little ground ball to first. Marshall underhands it to Hunnicutt for the out. And McGee moves to second. All that for Washington, and they decided to announce it on the Today Show. Because, you know, Savannah Guthrie is such a big football fan. Here's Daryl Porter. He walked his first time up. She might actually be a big football fan, but really, that's where you're going to announce that, huh? Pitch to Porter. Struck him out. That's 3. A 1-2 fastball in the inside corner looking, and there's 2 out for Ozzie. Ozzie hit a sac fly. Don't know about if they're renovating further than just the names. I thought I saw something about a lease extension. Some type of WW logo, maybe one shadow box and the other. Washington Warriors. I would have taken the Warriors because Warriors can be many different things. I like the name Red Hogs. I thought that would have fit them quite well. They did not change the color scheme, except for now there's a black alternate uniform. Pitch to Ozzie. Gets away from Yeager, but McGee doesn't move on it, so the count is 2-1. Hunnicutt already 68 pitches in here with 2 out in the 4th. Lost him on the walk. There could have been anything. Admirals. Warriors is taking, but that doesn't matter. Remember, there's a baseball Cardinals and a football Cardinals. And if Washington has a field goal kicker, maybe they can name him Steph Curry and take a lot of threes. So 2 on, 2 out for Tudor, who's 0 for 1. Going to have to swing here. Pitch to John. Struck him out. He got him. Fouled her right in the glove of Steve Yeager. 3.5 in the books. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave on 2. Bottom 4. 1-0 St. Louis. Yeah, Mariners, Submarines, Commodores. I don't understand that. Admirals. Like I said, I can understand the gent not being a general. Just 2 years. They'll sell a bunch of stuff. Anyway, here are the standings as we play the games of Wednesday, May 8th, 1985. The Dodgers are in first place, a half game over Houston. San Diego has slid back to third. Atlanta still hanging in at 12-13. And the Reds, you know they're coming. Oh, no announcement on renovations, but a $202.5 million lease extension plan was approved. So another 10 years, and I saw an option for another 10. So they're going to party like it's 2042 or 2046 at Progressive. In the East, the Cubs have a 1-game lead over the Cardinals. St. Louis has won 6 straight coming in and 6-3 on the road. Montreal, Pittsburgh, and the Mets are blah. In the AL West, Minnesota and Seattle are tied. The Twins have won 5 straight. Kansas City and Texas. Texas has won 3 straight since they blew that lead to Cleveland the other night. In the East, the Blue Jays are 17-10. They have a 1-game lead over Boston, a 1.5 over Cleveland. And Billy Martin not doing much better than Yogi Berra. The Yankees have lost 7-10 in 3 straight. So that's a look at your standings. Guerrero 0 for 1. Tudor sitting on a 1-0 lead as we start the bottom of the fourth. Pedro, ground ball to Tudor, off the mound, throws to first, and Guerrero is out on a bang-banger. That brings up Marshall, who's 0 for 1. With the rich history of the Redskins, the Red Hogs would have been perfect. Those were their Super Bowl years. You can't imagine that Harley Davidson would have objected to it. Yeah. Just a bad name. Pitch to Marshall. Got him. He swings and misses on the curve. Here's Maldonado. Candy singled his first time up. That's the first strikeout for Tudor. I like Guardians better than Commanders, don't you? I know people are upset that Cleveland changed their name, but it's just, it's Snyder. It's bland. That bridge is iconic. As a shout out to the CFL, they could have been the Rough Riders. Well, Teddy Roosevelt, again. You know, I mean, Washington has a deep and rich history. Pitch to Candy. There's a fly ball to left. Lonnie Smith is there. And that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the fifth, 1-0 St. Louis. Zeldaran is a fan of the Guardians, but that's only because he grew up in Cleveland, so I know the history behind it. Spiders would have worked for them, too. Vince Coleman, 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. That was a bunt hit. Hunnicutt probably is done after this. He's at 74 pitches as we start the fifth. They play back. Ground ball to Guerrero. And Guerrero with a long throw to first. That was just a reflex play. And Coleman is retired. 1 out. Brings up Lonnie Smith, who's 0 for 2. I think as time goes on, Guardians won't rub people the wrong way. Pitch to Smith. Ground ball up the middle. Duncan by the bag at second. Over to Marshall for the out. Here's her. Tommy's 0 for 2. 1-0 Cardinals here. 2 out, top the fifth. Ground ball to third. Guerrero across the way, and we're halfway home. Pitchers duel here in Los Angeles. Go to the bottom of the fifth, halfway home. 1-0 St. Louis. So if you joined us late, here's how we got here. Ozzie Smith, a sac fly in the second, the lone run of the game. Hunnicutt, a 2-hitter through 5. We'll probably bat him here. He might start the 6th. That was a fairly easy 5th. John Tudor, a 2-hitter through 4. Has walked 1 and struck out 1. You know, I'm just not quite sure that you could have made a logo for Cleveland outside of the C that wouldn't have offended somebody if you'd kept the name Indians. But compared to what Washington did, Guardian works for me. R.J. Reynolds is 0 for 1. Tudor Ground ball to short. Ozzie behind the bag and a hard throw to first. 1 out. Here's Steve Yeager. He's 0 for 1. If Yeager does not reach, I'll let Hunnicutt bat. There's a ground ball to third. Pendleton across the way, 2 out. And we will let Hunnicutt bat. I will show you in a moment the boo-boo I got today. I got cut. Hunnicutt strikes out. He was 0 for 1. Tudor got him on an 0-2 fastball on the inside corner. So through 5, 1-0 St. Louis. Clark, McGee, and Pendleton to face Hunnicutt in the 6th, and the leash will be rather short. So I'll show you the boo-boo on my chin. There you go. You can see where I got nicked. It's okay. I didn't bleed very much. And I do bleed, just in case you wonder here. There you go. So, I've used an electric razor for the better part of 16, 17 years. Clark 1 for 2. Has singled and scored. But I finally had a razor where the blades outlasted the motor. And if you own or use an electric razor, blades are not cheap. And of course, with my luck, pitch to Clark. There's a ground ball to third. Guerrero over across the way, 1 out. By the time you put the blades in, the motor's going to burn out anyway. Well, the blades in this really were done. And so I had a person to help me shave the other day that usually is very good, and all he did was brush them. And I got razor burn on my face. Willie McGee is walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. So I went to Amazon to order a new razor. I know what I want at this point. Pitch to McGee. Willie laces out one into center field for a base hit. So that is the 3rd hit for the Cardinals. Here's Pendleton. Terry's 0 for 1 with a walk. Knowing I needed a new razor sooner than later, I didn't really pay attention to the date when it was going to be shipped. And so when I checked Tuesday night to see if it had shipped, it was telling me it wouldn't be here for a week. Well, I can't go for a week without shaving. It's just impossible. So yesterday, I switched. I went to Walmart instead, and I'll have one tomorrow. They're going to ship me one. Somehow they can do it in 2 days and Amazon can't, but that's not the point of the story. Pitch to Pendleton. Terry flies one to right. Reynolds in the corner, and RJ is just going to run out of room. No, he made the catch. McGee's digging for second. The throw to Duncan is not in time. So Reynolds, the crowd parted for him. He reached in, and McGee, with his good speed, took the base. Not bad. Here's Porter. Daryl has walked and struck out. 2 out. So in the meantime, the thing is, if you use an electric razor, you can use it every day, you're fine. But if you go 2 or 3 days, it's painful. And so, after a week of bad shaves, my wife picked me up a razor and some Edge gel. And so for the first time in 17 years, I actually had to do an actual straight razor shave. And what happens? I get cut on the chin. Porter walked. So 2 out. And Ozzie Smith at the plate. Let's see. It's switchy, lefty, switchy. Zeldaron, thanks for the sub, my friend. Zeldaron, subscribe with Prime. And don't forget, if you haven't used your Prime sub on Twitch, you can use it for me and it won't cost you a penny. Thank you. I don't want to use Diaz this early. Need fewer if I get the lead. And Howell pitched yesterday, so It'll be the lefty, Carlos Diaz, who's 1-0 with an earned run average of .82. Carlos making his 10th appearance on the year. He is pitching like a house of fire. 27 years old, a fastball pitcher at 91, and a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched 2 days ago, so Monday against the Cubs at Chicago. He went an inning and that was it. So 11 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. He's walked 4 and struck out 7. He has not faced the Cardinals this year. So McGee on second, Porter on first. 2 out for Ozzie Smith. Ozzie strikes out. Diaz slams the door. A full count fastball got him looking. So St. Louis is now left on 7. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 1-0. So here's Sack. Steve is 1 for 2. They're not going to bunt. St. Louis is playing for it. Tudor is opening 18 on 62 pitches, 5 innings, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Sachs chops this one up the middle. Herb on the bag at second, over to first for the out. So 1 out for Duncan. Mariano walked and sacrifice bunt. Pitch from Tudor. Popped up. Left side. Ozzie. 2 out. Great play. Got that in foul territory. And he reached in and let the fans feel a little bit. Beautiful night still here at Dodger Stadium. 67. Winds from right to left at 11. Here's Russell. Billy is 0 for 2. In the shallow left center, McGee rides the Schwinn, and the Dodgers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 7th, 1-0, St. Louis. So Tudor, Coleman, and Lonnie Smith to face Diaz here in the 7th. John has struck out once. He's 0 for 2. Ground ball to first. Marshall has it for the out. So tomorrow, I get to wet shave again, and then the new electric will hopefully be here. Here's Coleman. Vince 1 for 3. Bunt single and a strikeout. Coleman. High ground ball to Marshall. Mike takes it to the bag himself. 2 out. For Lonnie, who's 0 for 3. So Diaz might come out to start the 8th. Pitch to Smith. Ground ball to Guerrero. Pedro, a long throw across the way, and Smith is retired. So Diaz gives the pump fist, and it's stretch time, 1-0. So Guerrero 0 for 2. Tudor has held the Dodgers to 2 hits through 6. To third, Pendleton. Crowd and Leo 1 out. John just cruising right along here. Mike Marshall is struck out. He's 0 for 2. One of the 2 strikeouts by Tudor. And there's a base hit in the left center field. Lonnie Smith will pick it up. Marshall will round first. 1 out for Maldonado. Candy singled is 1 for 2. Marshall not a threat to steal. Tudor's pitch. Ball 4. So John finally has himself into a mess. That's the second walk. Here's R.J. Reynolds, 0 for 2. Can anybody hit a lefty? And the answer really is no. So with one out, they're going to play small ball. He's going to square. Reynolds drops it down. Porter's only play is to first. There's 2 out, but Marshall and Maldonado move up 90. Now, if Yeager, with a chance of a hit here at 105, can get on base, Dodgers would pinch hit for Diaz. 2 out, 2 on. Bottom of the 7th, 1-0 St. Louis. Tudor deals. There's a ground ball to third. Pendleton has time to autograph it, throws to first, and the Dodgers get nothing. So no runs are hit, and they leave on 2. We go to the 8th, 1-0 St. Louis. A run on 3 hits for the Cardinals. No errors. And they've left on 7. The Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits, and an error, and they have left on 5. So it'll be her, Clark, and McGee. And the Dodgers would like to get Diaz through the inning because he would lead off the bottom of the 8th. Tommy is 0 for 3. Got him! A rare strikeout for her. He swings and misses on the 0-2 fastball. And that'll bring up Clark. Jack is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. And that is a ground ball. Diaz way off the mound towards third. Long throw. Got him. So Diaz looking like Jim Cott out there on the mound. 2 out. McGee 1 for 2. He is singled, walked, and struck out. The lone run was a sac fly by Ozzie Smith to score Jack Clark in the 2nd. Pitch to McGee. Struck him out. Diaz does his job. An 0-2 fastball on the inside corner. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 St. Louis. So Steve Braun goes in for Lonnie Smith. He'll bat in the 2 hole, and there's a 5 and an 8 in left. Who can hit a lefty? They're going to go with Mike Scioscia. Now you got to do the double switch. Scioscia at 254, 6 doubles, no homers, and 8 RBI. Fast-moving game here, 1-0, bottom of the 8th. Cardinals trying to catch up to the Cubs. Pitch to Scioscia. Struck him out. That's 3 for Tudor. Daryl Porter hung on to the changeup. 1 out for Sachs is 1 for 3. Tudor, 7 1/3 innings, just 100 pitches, 3 hits. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts over his opening 27 batters. Chopper to her. Sachs is 1 for 3. He'll go 1 for 4 now as Tommy throws him out. Brings up Duncan. Walked. Bunted. And is retired. So 0 for 1. Russell on deck. Tudor trying to get out of the 8th. And giving himself a really good chance for a shutout here. It's a Sandy Koufax type of game. 1 run will decide it. Pitch to Duncan. There's a ground ball to her by the bag at second. Over to first, and that will retire the side. So, no runs, no hits, no errors. Scioscia stays in the game. He'll bat 9th. We go to the 9th. It is 1-0 St. Louis. Switchy, lefty, switchy. So Tom Niedenfuer will bat in the 8 hole. has 6 saves on the year. Went 7-9 with 19 saves. His 12th appearance of the year. He's just 26 years old. A fastball pitcher at 93. And a fly ball pitcher. He picked up the save in St. Louis a week ago. A 1-inning affair. He struck out 2 on 14 pitches. And that was the last time he threw. So 13 1/3 inning. 7 hits. 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 2 and struck out 16. Although this is not a save opportunity, he has converted all 6. Pendleton, Porter, and Smith, and then Tudor, if anybody should reach. Terry is 0 for 2 with a walk. Diedenfuer starts with a fly ball to left center. Maldonado is there. 1 out. So here's Daryl Porter. Daryl 0 for 1. He has struck out and walked twice. To get back to a point we were making earlier, I have rain outs unchecked, so any game that starts will finish. And if you're a Texas Ranger fan, you are still quite peeved at the 152-minute rain delay, which saw the Cleveland Indians come back to win on Monday night. Pitch to Porter. Daryl pops it up. Duncan reaches over into foul territory, running a long way from short, and will make the catch. 2 out. Russell, Guerrero, and Marshall for the Dodgers in the 9th. Here's Ozzie Smith. Ozzie is 0 for 1. He has walked, struck out, and hit a sac fly. Now his 12 RBI in the year, which is excellent for someone that hits out of the 8-hole. Don't say that too slow. Ground ball to Sachs over to first, and Ozzie is safe because Marshall couldn't get it. Mike Marshall dropped it. That is not on Sachs, who has a reputation, and a well-deserved one, of not being a good fielder. But Mike Marshall dropped it. It's E3. So let's see what the Cardinals do with Tudor. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but he should pitch the 9th in a 1-0 game. Throw to first. Ozzie has been picked off. Diedenfuer caught him napping. And so it won't matter what John Tudor would do at the plate. Ozzie made a boo-boo. Kind of like the one on my chin. We go to the bottom of the 9th. No runs, no hit in the air. It doesn't hurt. It's 1-0 St. Louis. So Russell, yeah, damn is right. Damn and Doe. That sounds like a country band, doesn't it? 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for St. Louis. They left on 7. The Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits, 2 errors. And they have left on 5. It'll be Russell, Guerrero, and Marshall to face Tudor. Bill is 0 for 3, and no, the bench is pretty light against lefties. Pitch to Russ. Line drive foul, third base side. Somebody from San Pedro made that catch, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Cardinals' pen is quite good, and you can't get much closer than 1-0. 1-2. Ball forward, he lost him. So the tying run is on, and Russell has decent speed. Guerrero can win this thing. The Drizzling Schmitz would be a great country band. Drop the M and you get it. They'd be up a creek, wouldn't they? Here's Guerrero. He's 0 for 3. Russell, the tying run is on. Let's see if Lorenzo can bring the Dodgers some luck. Pitch to Guerrero. It's a ground ball, base hit right side. Russell will hold at second. Coleman throws it back in. And that'll bring up Marshall, who was 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out up a creek without a paddle, for sure. So the Cardinals will take a ground ball right now. When you leave on 7 runners, you leave a lot of wasted opportunities. In one-run games, the Cardinals are just 2-4. The Dodgers are 7-2. And if they win the game, unless Marshall homered, it would be a one-run game. Tudor and Porter trying to get back on the same page. John from the stretch. Ground ball to third. Pendleton might get two. He's going to go the bag for one. They get Russell on the force over to Clark. And Marshall beat it out. Not in time. There's one out. And now a double play wins the game for St. Louis. So Pendleton got the lead runner. And now here's Maldonado. Candy 1 for 2. He is singled and walked. He has a game-winning RBI on the year. So advantage Tudor with one out. Because now you get to set up the ground ball for the force. And this Cardinal defense is good. Pitch to Maldonado. Struck him out. Tudor went back and found something extra on a 1-2 curve on the outside corner. And so they'll look now to pinch hit for R.J. Reynolds. And enter Bob Baylor. 381, no homer, 6 RBI, and hitting .333 as a pinch hitter. You're not going to get a homer, but he can hit a double. And a double might score Marshall. Certainly would tie the ball game. Tudor sweating up a storm on a 64-degree night in Los Angeles. Wind now is shifted. It's blowing out to right center on 11. He winds and deals, and there's a ground ball to Wizard. Ozzie goes to second, and the Cardinals have pulled this one out 1-0. You might not have a lot of fingernails left, but that was a pretty good ball game. So the Dodgers will leave 2 on. Yep, that sidearm late-breaking curve from Tudor, that was big. So 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. The Cardinals leave on 7. No runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. They fall to 15-13, and they leave on 7. That was a good one. We've had 2 good games this week. John Tudor goes to 5-1, and he is a digital dice player of the game. He throws a 4-hit shutout. He walked 3 and struck out 4. Hunnicutt, not a bad effort at all. I mean, just the 1 run, it was a sac fly. 5 2/3, 3 hits. He walked 5 and struck out 4. Diaz and Niedenfuer did their job, a clean 3 1/3 innings, but the Dodgers just couldn't do anything with it. So St. Louis, the margin now is a half game. Houston and Los Angeles are tied for first. Of course, it's the 8th of May. Don't read too much into it. Elsewhere in baseball on this May 8th, the Giants beat the Cubs 4-3. Mike Krukow goes to 4-1. Rick Sutcliffe falls to 5-2. Gary Matthews 2 for 2. The Sarge hit his 3rd of the year and drove in 2. Toronto 15-2 over Oakland. Smelling salts for Zalapsky Smurf. Doyle Alexander goes to 4-2. Steve McCaddy gets his first loss of the year. Willie Upshaw 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Nolan Ryan shuts down the Expos 2-0. He goes to 4-1 for Houston. Joe Hesketh 1-3. Jose Cruz 3 for 4 with his 5th home run of the year. The Reds beat the Phillies 7-3. Mr. Tibbs goes to 2-5. John Denny falls to 1-5. Nick Asaski 4 for 5, a triple and a double. The White Sox beat the Indians 10-2. Britt Burns gets his first win of the year. Neil Heaton, who didn't pitch well when we had him on, goes to 2-2. Harold Baines, 2 homers, 2 for 5. He's now 5 homers on the year and drove in 3. California beat Wilcam Boyd and the Red Sox 6-5. Jim Slayton goes to 3-3. 4 hits for Bill Buckner. Tony Armas 3 for 5, his 10th of the year. The Can falls to 4-3. Mets beat the Braves at Shea 8-5. Ed Lynch goes to 3-1. Len Barker goes to 0-2. Remember, it was a big deal when the Braves signed Len Barker. Bob Horner, 2 for 5, his 4th of the year. Seattle shuts out Milwaukee 4-0. How about that? Matt Moore, 3-2. Ray Burris, 1-3. Jim Presley, that's the Presley, 2 for 3 with his 5th of the year. Slugfest at the Metrodome. They beat the Yankees 11-10. Ron Davis, 1-1. Dave Righetti, 1-2 now on the year. Dave Winfield, well, it's May, so you know he's good. 4 for 5, his 6th of the year. He drives in 2. Texas shuts down the Tigers 2-1. Not a good start to the year, the Tiger for Detroit. Dave Stewart gets the win 2-0. Dan Petrie falls to 3-3. Larry Herndon 1 for 3, a triple and 2 walks. Kansas City 6, Baltimore 3. Danny Jackson goes to 2-2. Scotty McGregor in this battle of the lefties falls to 2-3. George Brett 2 for 3 with his 3rd of the year. Steve Garvey 4 for 5, 3 RBI and 3 doubles. They beat the Pirates 8-5. Andy Hawkins goes to 4-1. Larry McWilliams falls to 1-3. Friday, Chicago and San Diego. So that's tomorrow's game from Jack Murphy Stadium. And then Saturday, which we'll do Friday, Seattle and Toronto. How about that? So that's the rest of the week for you. Enjoy and stay safe and off the roads and all that. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow from the Murph in San Diego. So long, everybody.